my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. Okay sweeties, today is going to be review day and we're talking about this beautiful palette. This is the Envy palette from Lucky Bunny Cosmetics. This is how she looks. This you have seen featured already when I spoke about this in my new makeup releases video, and I was so blown away by this palette. I just could not believe how beautiful this palette is, how creative this color scheme is. I've not seen anything like this before. Anything like this, you know, and this is the first palette that Lucky Bunny Cosmetics came out with. So Lucky Bunny Cosmetics is based in Australia. This is a really new indie brand in Australia, and I'm super excited for Australia, for the whole continent and for all of us, because we need good, amazing brands that come out with a boom like this, you know. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. So this is the palette that we are going to work with today. Of course, I'm going to create this look here on camera in just a second, but before we do that, I want to just quickly go and show you the looks that I have created already with this beautiful palette. Okay, I hope you did enjoy the looks. I certainly did. I think they all turned out super well. When you also see, you know, the very first one that I did, that was like a really dark mossy green, was beautiful. And then of course that super winged out cut crease, then the more vibrant green one. I just loved all of them, absolutely loved all of them. And of course today we're going to do this, and of course I used all of the shades, not today but in general I used all of the shades in the palette, so I can give you a really good, like, I have an opinion, you know. So but before I do all of that, I'm going to just swatch this palette. I'm going to go row by row on a bare arm, and that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to start with this beautiful white shimmer. Excuse the scratches because I have bunnies. I have a lot of rescue bunnies and I cuddle with them, so that's why I do have scratches. Okay, this is the shade Crystal, super pretty. I hope you can see that this is a very nice white pearly shimmer. Okay, the next one is Bambi, which is not going to show up a lot because this is really seriously my skin tone, a tiny little bit darker. Maybe it shows up a little bit because this part of my arm is of course a little bit lighter, but I don't know, it probably doesn't show up, but you'll just have to believe me. The next shade is Chastity, and that is a beautiful green shimmer. I also used that today. I have that under my lower lash line. Super pretty, really nice. Okay, let me just quickly wipe off my fingers. Okay, now we are going to a very dark matte, which is the shade Jade, and it actually really looks like jade. Super pretty, super dark shade, and this is actually also what I want to see in a palette. It swatches a little bit crumbly, but that is also probably because I'm not a swatching expert. So anyway, this is actually what I wanted to see in a palette, that I do have nice dark mattes, right? Like, don't I always say that? I want nice dark mattes. This is my makeup style and I really like it. The next shade is called Roxy. This is more like a cool toned kind of like a cool toned green, I would say. There I go, trying to talk about colors is just really hard for me. Wait, let's just make this really properly like this. This looks like it's really foiled. When I'm looking at the viewfinder, this looks really pretty. Okay, next shade is a green matte, which is sort of the mid-tone green in this palette. This is the shade Chloe. So, not so good at swatching mattes, are we, Leorah? Okay, so anyway, this is how she looks, Chloe. And then the next shade is called Trinity, and that is the lightest green in the palette when it comes to the mattes. I'm going to talk about this also in the review part, just saying. Okay, so this is also a beautiful green. Again, I'm not so good in swatching mattes apparently, but this is all on a bare arm, of course, just so you know. Okay, next one is Kitty. Okay, that is a how would I describe this shade? I really don't know. It is a shimmer, and it is, I don't know. How do I describe this shade? It sort of has a bit of a hint to olive green, I would say, but it is still, it doesn't have a warm undertone, I don't believe. Maybe a hint of it, but I don't know. I'm just not good at explaining colors. I have to learn this. This is really something that I want to learn. Okay, next one is Destiny, which is a darker, it's not a super dark shimmer gray, but it is the darkest one that is in here. Where am I going to put this here? This is how it looks. I also used that today under my lower lash line. This is how it looks. Now I'm seriously running out of space. Okay, the next one is the lighter gray shimmer that is here in the palette, and that is the shade Gypsy. Where I'm gonna put this now. Sweetie, what have I done? So good at this, sweeties. Are you having fun? Are you laughing at me? Look at this one. This is beautiful. Do you see this? It's really beautiful. Okay, next shade is a dark Bordeaux matte. This is also what I used here in my outer corner today. This is a tricky shade. I'm going to talk to you about this in the review part also. This is how she looks. Something like that. Okay. Okay, and the last shade is the shade Dallas, which is sort of like the darker brother of this one right here. That is also like a olive green leaning but cool toned shade. I don't know. This is how it looks. Okay, please just forgive me for my swatching abilities and for my color explaining abilities. It is it's a journey, you know, it's a journey, and I'm getting there. I promise. Okay, so let's just look at the swatches. I hope you can see, even though I sort of ran out of space, that this is how they look, and I think I'm actually doing okay. It just looks really clumsy when I'm doing it, but I think the result is pretty nice. Okay, so that is that. Of course, never forget that swatches are just on my skin tone, on my skin condition, on, you know, this is how they look on me, okay? So you should never put too much into swatches, like too much meaning into swatches in general, okay? Just so that we are clear on this. It's just part of the whole review thing, so that's why we're doing it, but it is really very unique to me, you know, to see those swatches on my arm. Just saying. Okay, so this is it. I'm not going to ramble more about this. We're going to go right into the creation of this look. Of course, if you're new here, then I'm going to explain quickly to you. I'm always speeding it up. I'm putting some music, so it's going to be more entertaining for you. It's going to take a very short time to watch it, and then please stay for the review part that is going to be at the end, like right after I finish creating this look, so you can find out what my opinion is about the palette. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you back here in just a second so we can chat. Okay, sweeties, here we are back with the finished look. I'm so happy I got up at 3:30 in the morning to film this. I am so thrilled. Okay, just in case there is still some lash glue drying, just in case I'm not 100% sure, it should be okay. But so let's just zoom in. Let's give you a closer look. I have the feeling a lash just fell down, but I'll check that in a second. So anyway, this is how the look came out. And now let's talk. Okay, so let me just check. It feels like there is something. Is there something? Was there something? I don't know. I will know once I'm editing what that is. I just have the feeling that there is something here. Okay, so this is the look. I am super happy with it. I had this look in my head. I had it like it's sort of cooked together while I was sleeping, and in the morning when I got up I was like, yes, this is what I want to try to do. Okay, so of course you saw that I put on this one here first, and it basically does not show up that much on my skin because it is a tiny little bit darker than my skin, but really insignificantly darker. So that is a no-show. But for blending out this shade, I really needed it because, sweeties, that it was a struggle, you know. It was a struggle, not because this is a bad shade, just because it is super pigmented and it is super dark. So, but anyway, I'm glad that I did, because I think the finished result is actually super pretty, and I kind of had a feeling about this look. Yeah, so anyway, let's talk about this palette. Lucky Bunny Cosmetics, the Envy palette. In the meantime, they also have come out with the Creed palette, which is a purplish palette, which is also on the way to me as of right now when I'm filming this. Super happy, and I will be forever grateful. I have to give a big shout out to Christine, who is my subscriber, or one of my subscribers from Australia, and she has ordered this for me, and also the Creed palette. Thank you so much. So Lucky Bunny Cosmetics is of course an Australia-based indie brand. I also told you that already, and I'm super excited about brands that come out with like special ideas, special color schemes, special something, you know. Even the name, seriously, the name, so cute. So anyway, this is the palette. Cardboard packaging, no mirror, which is absolutely no issue for me, because I'd rather pay less for a palette and not have a mirror, because I'm not using any of those mirrors in the palettes anyway, ever. I don't think I've ever done that. So that is what it is. Cardboard packaging, very sleek, very like simple. Okay, in the back you have the ingredients, and that's what it is. So yeah, that's how she looks. Okay, now we have 12 shades here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, who counts like that? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shimmers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes. Now, of course you know, that my personal preference is the other way around, because I always love to have more mattes than shimmers, but still, because there is still a variety here in this palette, I think one can do really nice looks with this. So the thing is, that is really one criticism. It's not really a criticism, because you always have to, of course, take my reviews in the context of my personal makeup style, right? So that's what it is. So, but I'm also going to give you general information, okay? For my personal makeup style, I would have first of all flipped the ratio around. First of all, having more mattes than shimmers, and I would also have liked to have like a really light green, for example, as a matte that is lighter than this one, sort of as a transition shade, you know, to blend out all of these green looks, because this one is still quite like boom, you know. This is not a super light shade. It is super pigmented, and it is very much in your face. So yeah, so that is it. This is the only transition shade, and I cannot really use that with any of these, because this is leaning a little bit towards like pinkish, you know. So you have to be careful. You can, but you have to be careful so it doesn't turn muddy, you know, because they are opposite on the color wheel, so you have to just be a little bit more careful. But anyway, it is possible. You just have to be careful. Yeah. So anyway, this is what it is. I totally love that there is so much going on in this palette, considering that you have this gray and white color scheme that you can pair up beautifully with this one here. It's so pretty. And then you have, of course, this red option, or it's like, it's not really a red option, it's like a very dark, this is like a dark Bordeaux shade, which is super pretty. It comes like on my skin tone, it leans even a little bit towards like it has a bit of a gray undertone, like a dark gray Bordeaux mix, you know. This is how it performed on my skin tone. I don't know, of course, how it is on other skin tones. It is super pigmented. You probably also saw that in the beginning, because I'm also working on a unset surface, which is, it's an issue, you know. You gotta spend some time blending this shade out, and I would, if you're not like super experienced with doing your makeup like this, then maybe use it on a set surface, you know. Set your eyeshadow primer, because it's going to just always make the blending easier. And I do believe that it will still build up and still be nice and pigmented and still show up true to color, because it is that buildable and it is that strong, you know. The same goes for this one, you know. They're very dark shades, super pretty. They go on like you wouldn't believe. Maybe that didn't show so much when I do my makeup, what you just saw, because this is just how I work, that I go in very slowly, and I never want you to get the impression that this is a shade that is a troublemaker and it doesn't build well or anything. It's just because I prefer for myself to go in slowly and then slowly build up. Besides that, the performance of all of the shadows, and I tried everything, was really beautiful, and I was super surprised, not so much about the mattes but about the shimmers, because when I opened this palette, totally being honest here, when I opened the palette, I loved the color scheme, but I thought, I sort of had an impression without touching anything, you know, because I first of all wanted to do a flat lay and whatever, so I didn't touch anything, but I had the impression, ooh, this looks like it's going to be super tight pressed, this is going to be hard to pick up on the brush, you know. This is what like the first vibe was, and I could not have been more wrong. These shadows worked absolutely beautiful. They picked up super nicely on the brush. The pigmentation, how they went on, the opacity was absolutely nice. So I can't even, like, I can't find anything that I want to say that didn't work in this palette. My only thing, again, what I would change is that I would like to have, and it is so funny, you know, it's so funny because I feel like this is like a weird kind of world that is upside down, because I always say I wish there would be more darker mattes. Now here I have beautiful dark mattes, and here I would actually like to have like one lighter matte that is leaning green. That would be so cool. But anyway, it is still like that. It is a super beautiful palette, just saying. Okay, also the silvers, I'm just so into silver looks. I've been saying that now for quite some time. Even just doing like a classic smoky eye, just using these, super pretty, and also combining it with this one, it's insane, absolutely insane, super pretty. So overall, I think this was an amazing experience, and I'm super glad that I got to have this experience, because would I have ordered this for myself, it would probably not have happened, you know, because there are just things that you just look and love from far away, and you'll never have them. That's how life is, right? But because of Christine, I can have this, and I'm so grateful. And also, while I'm filming this, Lucky Bunny Cosmetics has just released lipsticks, matte liquid lipsticks, and also a eyeliner, and they're really going full force, and that is so amazing for such a new brand, and I just wish them so much success. Also, you know what? They're also on a human level. They're super nice. I have been chatting a little bit with the owner. I believe it's the owner, whoever runs the Instagram account. I don't know. I believe that's the owner. So I've been chatting with her, and she is just super nice, and I just, you know, it is nice customer service. The shipping went really fast when I considered that it went from Australia to Germany and then from Germany to Israel. So, you know, this palette has traveled more than I have in my whole life. Just saying, you know. I really had a lot of fun with this, and this is definitely not the last time that I'm working with this, because there is something in the planning where I'm going to use this palette. So I'm super thrilled, and I'm super happy with the looks that I created. I got a lot of compliments for the looks. It was a really huge success story, and I'm super glad that I could share this here on my channel with you, because I would absolutely recommend this. I cannot wait to also work with the next one that is on the way right now, because this one was a really good formula where I would say this is what I want to work with again. You know, there are certain companies or brands where I think, okay, so I tried this, it wasn't bad, but would I necessarily want this again in my life? Not necessarily, and then I just don't order from this anymore. But this was such a good surprise. You know, I'm just super thrilled that I got to have this chance. So a big thank you goes, of course, to Lucky Bunny Cosmetics for creating this awesome product, and I hope you'll just thrive and grow and be a big part of our makeup future here in the beauty community. And of course, again, a big thank you also to Christine, who supplied me with this, and thank you so much. It's such a blessing to have you. And besides that, I thank all of you for watching and for being here with me in my space. And if you're new here, then please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here permanently. Yeah, okay. And besides that, I'm going to see you here next time for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.